Hello students, today we are going to read the first story in our textbook. The title of the story is The Best Christmas Gift in the World. The story is very emotional and touches a very sensitive topic, which is the purpose of war. War has always been associated with bravery, strength, patriotism and death. What we often try to overlook is its futility. Wars might have been declared between the countries, but those who actually go to the front are humans with similar desires, dreams, fears, and emotions. So the question is, aren't there better ways to resolve conflicts? The story is set in England post-war. The narrator accidentally finds a soldier's letter belonging to someone else. After reading the letter, he decides to deliver it to the rightful owner, that is, soldier's wife. To understand the story better, I have divided it in 3 parts. In the first part, we will get to know how the narrator finds the letter. Second part tells us about the content of the letter, and in third part we will find what happens after reading the letter. The narrator finds an old roll-top table in a junk shop in poor condition. Time, fire, water had ruined the table and therefore available at a very cheap price. Narrator decides to buy it, accepting the challenge of repairing it himself. He starts the work of repairing it on Christmas Eve, that is on 24th of December. While all the drawers were open, the last one was stuck and could be opened only after putting in a lot of effort. Inside it, he found a secret drawer in which there was a small black tin box. It was the last letter written by a person named Jim, received on 25th of January 1915. Students, please remember the date and year when the letter was delivered, as this information is crucial. The letter was addressed to some Mrs. Macpherson and was written on 26th of December 1914. Again, the date and year is to be noted. Now, although it was someone else's letter and reading it would have been wrong, but narrator's curiosity got better of him and he decides to read the letter. Student, here it is important to understand that while in the first part I refer to the narrator, in second part the speaker is the soldier. Hence I refers to the soldier. In the letter, soldier recollects the Christmas of 1914. I presume that you know, students, that the First World War had started this year, that is 1914, and continued for 4 years. So the scene is set in a battleground. When they were all in their bunkers, suddenly the Germans waved the white flag, symbol of peace or truce. They wished them Merry Christmas and offered to share drinks. Few words here which you have to understand are Fritz, Tommy and no man's land. Fritz is the common word used for Germans, while Tommy is a common name in England. No man's land is the unclaimed land between the two sides. Both sides quickly dumped their weapons and joined the party in no man's land. Soon the tense environment of hatred, caution and violence was turned into laughter, party and fun. The English officer greeted the German officer warmly and they started talking. The German officer played cello in orchestra before joining the army. He had a family. They played football here. Students, the German officer said, I think, the most important line which underlines the theme of the story. He wished that all the conflicts should be resolved through games. After all, who wants destruction and death? The day was over, but they didn't wish to go back. Finally, they wished each other farewell and prayed for the day when they all would go back to their family. They sang carols whole night and celebrated the Christmas despite being enemies. This letter was the last letter from Jim, which means he could not return from war. Now we come to the third part of the story. After reading the letter, narrator could not sleep. He decides to deliver it to Mrs. Macpherson, the rightful owner. He reached the address mentioned only to find the burned house. After inquiring, he finds that there was a fire in the house and the old lady was rescued, who now lives in a nursing home. Due to her old age, her memory is weak and she often remains confused. He goes to the nursing home and meets her. He tries to explain how he found the letter, but Mrs. Macpherson wasn't paying attention to his words. She mistook him for her husband and called him the best Christmas gift, not realizing that even though he wasn't the person she thought he was, he still got her the best gift possible in the form of the letter. Students, here the story ends. Now we will quickly recap the story. We must remember the incidents in each part and notice who is telling the story, as there is a story within the story. We find here that gifts come in all shapes and forms. For the soldiers in battleground, those few hours of fun, friends, and laughter were so precious and memorable that they were no less than any gift. For the old woman, who had been waiting for her husband for God knows how many years, the narrator's arrival was the best gift. She was alone in the world. No one came to visit her. Under such circumstance, narrator's visit with the letter ensured companionship on Christmas. Now the time is to reflect, introspect the following. These questions are very critical, and before we jump to the answer, we have to be more open to opinions and perspective. No war brings peace. Why should we treasure the old things? Are all old things junk? These two scenes, students, are very crucial ones, as I have already pointed out, which we should remember and always keep in mind before siding with any form of violence and war. So this was the story, and I hope you liked the story as much as I did. If you want to watch it in action, you may keep the link, but remember, there is no alternative to reading. I will end the presentation with these quotes by Harry Patch. He was the last survivor of the World War I. War has no positive sides. Let's hope to bring a peaceful and happy place for ourselves and for our future. Stay home, stay safe.